From Canton, Ohio, to GMAC and Sunshine State Schools, and now the Gulf South Conference, UAH's Quentin Toles has seen it all. A basketball journeyman, he's bringing his toughness, energy, leadership, and playmaking abilities to one of the top programs in the country. Coming up, Quentin joins us to share his story and what he looks forward to most about competing in the GSC basketball environment, as well as competing in one of the fiercest regions in the country. This is Inside the GSC. Today on Inside the GSC, we're joined by UAH senior guard Quentin Toles. From Canton, Ohio, to a stint in Florida, to trips to Walsh and Kentucky Wesleyan, and now leading the Chargers attack in the Gulf South. Quentin's journey has been about resilience, growth, and leadership. Quentin, thanks you for the time for being here. We appreciate you spending a little bit of time to chat with us.
Absolutely. It's an honor just to be here, man. It's an honor.
For sure. Well, we'll start from the very beginning, as we do always with student athletes. When did you first start playing basketball, and what drew you to the game?
I think from the beginning, I was probably around third grade. I was more of a football player. My dad loved football. He wanted me to be a quarterback. So I was a quarterback for a while, and I just loved basketball. I feel like there was more to it, and I fell in love with it. So I dropped football, and right into high school, freshman year, I went full force into basketball, and I ended up getting a great opportunity starting as a freshman, and I just loved it. I wasn't fortunate to be in great like AAU circuits and stuff like that, so just going to a local high school of mine and trying to ball out there was my only recruitment option. And so during my senior year, we all know how COVID was. Recruiting was really messed up, so I did really good. I averaged like 26 points a game out of high school, and only had two offers, really, only one really. And the school that offered me currently shut down now, and the other one was Walsh. And so I talked to my parents, and the better option was going to be Walsh. And so I went there, not on a full ride at first, and I worked my butt off, and praise God, I ended up getting a full ride, and I got put on campus because my discussion with the head coach was that I had to commute to school. And so, I was balling at practice and stuff like that. And he was like, I need you on campus. So got the full scholarship, got put on campus, and loved it. I loved my freshman year, learned a lot. There was tons of mentorship there, tons of things I learned. And then going into my sophomore season, I finally got an opportunity to get that starting position, make an impact on the team. And I felt like that I did a pretty good year, had a pretty good year. I had suffered like a little shoulder injury at the beginning of the year. I had to miss like 7 games or so, but it didn't stop me from coming back and playing and producing at a high level. So that led into my junior year, which I sat down with a coach, and I wanted to play a little bit 1 and 2, but at Walsh, they only saw me as a guy that can kind of shoot it. I create sometimes, and I felt like I could do so much more than that. And so I entered the portal, and that led me to Lynn University, which they offered me to play the 1 and the 2. And that was like something I really wanted to do and platform my ability to do. And so went down there, took the chance. So far from home, I always wanted to go down south, so it worked out. But unfortunately, early that year, I had suffered a LCL injury and had to medically redshirt. And so I just took that time just to get better, get healthy, work on my weaknesses, get stronger, get faster. And I think that's where a lot of my growth came from. And then, unfortunately, that coach that brought me down there, that was his last year. And so I talked to the new coach, and he basically said that he's going to bring in new guys, and I understood. And so I had to go into the portal again, and that led me to Kentucky Wesleyan. I didn't know where I was going to go because I didn't play. You know how the transfer portal is. Guys can get stuck in there, and I thought I was going to be one of those guys, and I was scared. And praise God that it led me to Kentucky Wesleyan. There were some guys there that I played against when I was at Walsh, and so I was excited to get back into the GMAC, get my feet wet again, get going, and had a good year, had a decent year, and decent team too. Our team was really, really good. A lot of guys were seniors, veteran team, and that's why I went there in the first place. And so when that season ended, a lot of the guys were moving on, going on with their lives. And so I wanted to go into a team that was going to be win immediately instead of like a rebuild year. My senior year, I wanted to win immediately. And so I hit the portal, and UAH, they hit me up immediately, texted me, Coach Maston texted me why they were playing Florida Southern, Nova, and sending me the film like, hey, we really want you. And I was really feeling them too. I really was feeling them. And so we set up a visit, and I came down, and I absolutely loved it. Loved the coach, loved head coach, assistant coaches, the environment, just the winning culture. The play style was important as well. It's this fast paced pick and roll offense. I loved it. And so it was a clear decision for me, and I made it immediately. And I signed and committed on the visit, and I was super excited. Called my parents, told them everything, and just very blessed just to be here. Really, I love it. So
Absolutely, quite a storyline if you think about just the whole transfer process. And usually, you don't see too many opportunities for student athletes that transfer not just once but twice in that realm. Where
yeah,
usually in that environment, you're anticipating to be there for 4 years. Obviously,
yeah,
there's times where things switches up from an athletic
exactly.
standpoint, but that must have been something that there's not a lot of student athletes that go through that process and just things don't click the way you anticipate, but just based off circumstances and situations, you
Yeah.
find yourself being a journeyman bouncing from one school to another.
Yeah. I transferred to Lynn. I expected that to be my last school I transferred to, and so this journey has been crazy. But I've been very fortunate and very blessed to be on it and learned so many things. So I love it, and just really blessed. Just really blessed.
During that time, because again, it's obviously, Quentin, you've had just a roller coaster within that time frame and whatnot, but kind of getting back a little bit to the earlier days, who
Yeah.
were some of the mentors or influences within your basketball journey, whether it was a coach, family member, or just whoever along the way that just inspired you to keep building and get after it?
I think early on it was my father. He pushed me into sports. He wasn't really raised in it. He didn't have a structured home to do that, and so he made that his promise, and pushed me and my brother to sports. And so whatever it was, he was with it. And so I chose basketball, and I loved it. And I feel like he was just a person that was always there, getting my rebounds. We're in the gym, working on my weaknesses. He was a major piece to that. And then going into like high school, I feel like that my head coach had betted on me and really took that chance on me. And so he made me better, and sat down, was watching film with me early, took me out of study hall some days, and was just really wanted me to get better and wanted me to get recruited. And I highly appreciated it. So I would feel like those two people were like major mentors, people I looked up to. Whenever I was down, I can look to them whenever. And I feel like those people were pretty consistent. So
Getting into the days, now that we're fast forward a little bit more, you had your time at Walsh and Kentucky Wesleyan,
yeah,
and now you get to UAH. You guys have a couple of games under your belt,
yeah.
and it might be comparing apples to oranges a little bit, but how would you compare the environment and the game day experiences from when you played at Walsh and Kentucky Wesleyan to the few games you've now played as a Charger?
Yeah. I just GMAC was different. GMAC in general, I felt like was kind of a slower pace. Gets your offense, and so going to the Sunshine State Conference to the GSC now, I noticed that it's a very fast paced offense, and it's a lot of just go quick strikes, and so. I feel like that was a major difference, and so taking pieces from both the GMAC, GSC, SSC is I think it's only going to benefit me to really pace myself with the offense and really think about what's coming ahead. I know we're playing so fast, but you got to think ahead. And so I feel like those are the big standpoints that I got from Kentucky Wesleyan and Walsh, was just the set offense of how detailed everything was. And now how fast it is. And it's easy to make mistakes. It's easier for other teams to make mistakes. And so you have to slow down as a team, as a player, and really comprehend what's going on and what our game plan is. And so it just takes a lot of practice. Takes a lot of failures and stuff like that, and long practices of it. It looks ugly today, but it looks better the next day. So I feel like those are some key pieces that I have learned along the way, and hopefully I continue to keep learning. That's for sure.
As a senior, Quentin, and it's one thing to be a transfer, like a sophomore transfer, a junior transfer, and you're trying to understand the culture and the environment that you're getting to. But
Hmm.
when you transfer for your senior year
Hmm.
and you know that this could potentially be it from a basketball career standpoint,
Yeah,
there still is some expectations to be a leader and to lead the younger guys. And so for
yeah,
somebody who just came onto UAH recently compared to maybe some of the younger guys that have had a couple of seasons under their belt, how do you see your role as that leader and just being able to get the younger players to buy into the UAH culture and just being that leader and just, setting the standard of what UAH basketball is about?
for sure. Yeah, I think that's like the biggest thing that I had to overcome was going place to place, but also being that leader because, a leader to most guys is a guy that's been there, knows what he's doing, has been just playing hard and all these other things. But I'm new, and it's hard to say how a certain thing should be because I haven't been here. And so I have to approach it with my work ethic, and I have to show guys like with my game of why he's a leader. Of he doesn't back down from competition, and so I think platforming my game ability, like when it comes to games, I'm serious. I'm just really serious, and I approach practice just like games too. So I think that's a big thing for me as well. And then also just communication, being talking with confidence, talking with a positivity. I feel like a negative leader you don't want to hear. And so I'm the type of guy that's going to build people up. I never want to tear them down. I always look for the learning lesson instead of this, oh, let's just get on to the person. And most guys on our team, they're smart enough to know when they make a mistake. So I don't need to get on them. I just need to encourage them. And so I feel like that's the biggest role for me that I've been having to do is just be more and more encouraging and have those one-on-one moments when they're maybe in their head or they're second guessing something to bring them to the side and be like, hey, like check on them, make sure they're okay, give them some encouragement and maybe give them a suggestion. There was a example at practice the other day where I gave our freshman guard, he had did something, he was looking to score, and I told him instead of looking to score, attack the space because when you look to score, it makes you one dimensional. You're easier to stop. But when you attack the space, that opens up scoring, that opens up passing, and so I feel like that was an example that you just gotta sit down with a guy and just get on their level and just be humbled. You gotta be humble. So I feel like that's the biggest thing that I'm approaching and doing as a senior this year.
Now, not exactly sure how Walsh and Kentucky Wesleyan did things and, just when it comes to doing things outside of basketball, but it
Hmm.
seems like UAH as well has enjoyed taking community initiatives, going out and doing community service projects. So, in your
Hmm.
time, just talk a little bit about some of those experiences and just how it's better shaped you as a person.
Yeah, yeah. So the first thing that we did was a buddy walk not too long ago. It was super fun. We helped set up. We had tables we had to bring down. There was tons of gifts and other things, and it was super sweet to meet the kids and just help out with them. I love the community at UEH. It's so family based, and they'll do anything for you. And I feel like that's what we need to do too. And so that was super fun. And then we just went to a homeless shelter with a bunch of families and hung out with the kids. I was pushing them on the swings and just playing basketball with them, which I thought that was super sweet. We also gave them a bunch of basketballs and told them to come to the games and stuff like that. And so I feel like UEH is a true family and wants to help the community in any way they can. And I just feel like that's what's really different about UEH is the family culture and willing to go out and they have a great season, but they still willing to give back. So and that's truly amazing. It's truly amazing.
For sure. Now, Quentin, we take a little bit of a turn. We've talked a little bit about basketball. We've talked a little bit about just how you've gotten to that point and just your time with UAH.
Yeah.
Let's dive in a little bit more about the career aspirations. You're majoring
Mhm.
communications.
Yeah.
Just talk to us a little bit about what led to the communications career field in particular and what you enjoy about it.
Yeah. I think going into college, I was a poor speaker, and I just didn't feel comfortable speaking to nobody. Um, I was a real introvert, and I felt like that was something I needed to work on. And so I took the challenge of doing it and wanted to do it. And so I'm glad I did it because it's so flexible with the places I transferred to too. So, but overall, I enjoyed learning the things that you can do with communications. You can do about anything with it. Something that I particularly want to do is start a cleaning business. I work for a cleaning business back at home, and I want to branch off the owner and start somewhere down south. And then that's later into my career. That's probably like around 30s. But I want to go overseas, play some basketball overseas first, and just build off that, travel as much as I can. And then when I come back, start that cleaning business and stuff like that. So I also want to do a little bit of real estate and own some rental properties as well. I think that's a market that is always going to be needed. And so I feel like that's me doing communications is going to be something that's going to help me in the long run. And I'm glad I chose it. And I also want to evangelize as well. My father's a pastor, my brother's a pastor. And so I want to do some evangelizing and preach the gospel as well. So I think that's going to be something that's going to be perfect. So, and looking forward to that. Looking forward to that.
With UAH and some of the opportunities you've had as well, just even talking with the associate AD for communications, Tanner Mickey, you
Yeah.
pick up some time a little bit with their athletic communications department. You get some solid experience with
Yeah.
doing games, writing articles. Talk to us about the experience that it's been like for you so far, especially as an active student athlete that's in season.
Yeah. No, for sure. So like what they do is not what I thought it was going to be. Like playing basketball and stuff is cool, but then when you look off stage, you got people keeping stats, you got people doing all these other things, and I got to do that. And so the respect I gained for them is crazy. I have so much respect for those guys and what they do for us because, game in, game out, they are hard work. Workaholics. They work super hard. They expect perfection, and I love it. I love that standard. And man, those group of guys are amazing. They taught me so much. The experience, you don't know when something's going to happen, and it's so spontaneous. And I learned so much just getting that experience at UAH, and I definitely appreciate Tanner for letting me be able to do that. And it's been super fun. It's been super fun. I feel like I learned a lot, man.
As somebody who also in their collegiate days worked in athletic communications and being a student worker in that environment, there's always a moment within the athletic communications realm that is like a learning lesson or just something that really sticks out with you. So if you
Yeah.
have a story or two that you don't mind sharing with us, just as kind of
Yeah.
like that experience that really cultivated and put everything together in that scope.
Yeah, I was working a soccer game, and I was on video, so I was recording this game, and I couldn't figure out how to like adjust the camera and stuff like that. And the guy told me to be careful, like if I adjust it wrong, it could fall off. And so I tried to get a good angle, and I attempted like to lift it up, and it almost fell. And so the whole game I was scared. I was like holding it, like oh my goodness, I gotta like I. Usually it's on like on a set, so I don't gotta hold it. And that game I'm holding it, and soccer games are they're long, so I was holding. I was nervous, and then after the game, you got guys fighting and stuff after the game, and I'm like, this cannot. It doesn't make any sense. Like guys on the soccer field, it's so competitive, and I love watching competitive soccer. So I was trying to record everything. It was hard, but you don't know what's going to happen, and so you gotta produce, and you got viewers watching, and so got to step up to the plate, and I couldn't back down. So I was scared, but everything worked out. Everything worked out. So
How do you balance being a student athlete while also preparing for what's next in life for your career aspirations and I know you were talking a little bit about the aspirations of what you're trying to do, but while you're a student athlete now and just trying to prepare for what's life after college going to look like, how do you
yeah,
balance that preparation?
yeah. I try not to worry about tomorrow. I feel like tomorrow's gonna have its own worries and troubles, and so I feel like that's something that I can't get ahead of myself. God's put me in this position for a reason, and so I'm going to take every opportunity to appreciate it and really soak it in. And I think in moments when I do feel that way of like being anxious, of I don't know, if I'm going to go overseas or I'm going to go back home or what, I don't know what's going to. So I just try not to get ahead of myself and really just focus on the present right now, and just enjoying these moments, enjoying the small moments because to me, I feel like I'm still in high school and I'm about to be done with college. And so it's crazy how fast it's going. And so I just want to enjoy every moment. I want to enjoy it every moment. So
And circling things back around just with this season, and again, with this being your senior year, I know that there's a lot to think about, but in your case, how you take it one day at a time is so crucial.
Mm-hmm.
But you also want to make sure you're enjoying the moment as well as you're going day by day.
Mm-hmm.
And with UAH basketball, it's one of the biggest powerhouses in Division II right now, also filled with a lot of good culture and rich history. How do
Yeah.
you and your teammates keep that legacy alive, whether it's the locker room or whether it's how you go about day-to-day stuff when you're around that UAH community?
Yeah. I think staying close to the team, especially to the returners, seeing how they are as a team, and just trying to mimic them as well. Like, I know I'm a senior, but I can learn from a sophomore. I can learn from a freshman. I can learn from a junior. I can learn from them guys. And so it just takes a little bit of humility and to see like, okay, this is what they expect. This is what they're going to get. And as a winning standpoint, from you got guys that made it to the NBA here that went to big powerhouse schools, Auburn and stuff like that. And so it's a legit school, and so that's why I really chose it. Like, I chose it because of what they brought and what they bring and what they produce. So that's my expectations had to rise as well, and not just expect the same. And I feel like this is a great opportunity, great moment to really tap into the potential that I have and go out there and just play the game that I love and just have fun. I feel like the times I'm having fun is when I play my best, not thinking about whether how many points I'm having or what, just being aggressive. How can I make the team win? I feel like that's when I play my best. And so going out with that mentality and going out with that with the team as well, and with the team to play that way, and I think that's when we play our best. So if we just carry that the entire year, I feel like we'll have a great outcome. We're chasing a national championship, and so we practice that way, we lead that way, we represent that way, and we have to. And so it takes every level, it takes every player on our team to do that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. You actually took away what was going to be my next question with that too, about what would excite you the most about this team and just the potential of a national championship. But
Yeah.
it seems there's that phrase when it comes to certain teams where it's not we're rebuilding, we're just reloading. And getting guys like you have
Mm-hmm.
already shown, just even within these first 2, 3 games, that we're still ready to rock and roll. We just
Yeah.
needed to make sure that we're getting the right pieces to still go on a national championship run.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there was doubt that the guys that they're going to bring in were going to be like lackadaisical, or they're going to fall off from last year's team. And I feel like this year's team was probably a little bit more athletic than last year's team and defensively better as well. And so I feel like that's scary for the other teams because I feel like we were counted out a little bit. Being ranked 2 kind of put us a chip on our shoulder. Like they expected a fall off, and that's not what happened at all. So I feel like we got some stuff we want to prove to people and continue to prove to guys like it that this team is legit, this program is legit, and we're going to show the whole world why it's legit. So I'm excited. I mean, our team's excited, ready to go. And I know those 2 games we had against Nova and Barry, I felt like we could have pulled off the first one. We won the second one, but we didn't play our best the second one, and so our expectations are really, really high. So we just got to continue to go and go to film and see what we can do to get better. So
Absolutely, for sure. And we're definitely looking forward to seeing what that season's going to turn out to be in 25, 26. A lot of potential. So we'll
yeah,
definitely be rooting for you along with the rest of the GSC teams to go out, be successful, and bring home
yeah,
another national title for the GSC conference standpoint.
yes,
Now, Quentin, before we let you get going, we do have a couple of rapid fire questions for you. We say rapid fire, but in past episodes, it's just however you feel like you want to respond. So take it
okay,
as you will, but we just want to kind of understand a little bit more about the Quentin Toles psyche.
okay,
Uh,
let's do it.
first, first question we have is favorite pregame ritual.
Definitely a nap. Oh, it has to be a nap. I need my sleep. I feel like this year, especially, I focused on sleep so much more than the previous schools, and it's been so much beneficial. So sleep for sure.
If you could change one rule in the game of basketball, what would it be?
One rule, um, man, that's hard. I would say 5 second call in the no 3 second call offensive in the paint. 3 second call. I feel like I would change that.
In your schedule this season, which road contest are you looking forward to the most?
Me being new, I feel like there's been talks about Valdosta, how serious those games are. I feel like that would be one, and then the other would probably be, for me personally, probably be West Florida. I want to go down to West Florida. I had a guy in that at that school last year, and so I want to see how that team is and see how that place is as well. So I'm excited for that.
And then, if you weren't playing basketball, what sport would you want to try for a season?
If I had to do one sport, I think I would. I kind of want to try football again, but I would have to say I want to say track. I would do track. I did track my senior year of high school. I loved it. I'd probably be doing a. I'd probably try to do a 400. I'd probably do a 400.
Well, Quentin, we want to thank you again for taking time on our show just to talk a little bit more and just sharing your story. We appreciate everything that you've done, and we're looking forward to seeing you ball out this season.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me. I'm highly honored and highly blessed. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Inside the GSC. Don't forget to hit like, share, or subscribe wherever content can be found so you won't miss highlights, stories, and more. So long for now, and we'll see you back here next time on Inside the GSC.